You know, Ricano has actually gone beyond being just a musical album. You know, it's my debut album. I'm extremely proud of it. It's actually a symbol, you know, a symbol for self-acceptance, self-love, and it's about sharing our stories using our roots as the starting point. You know, nowadays, it's hard for these newer generations to find original things that they could do. And I always say to my students, there's nobody that could do you better than you. And then finding what your roots are can help you find what that unique story is. If you build things from there, you're gonna find things that nobody can take away from you. You know, nobody can copy. This is uniquely you. So that's what Ricano is. Ricano has really gone beyond the stage at this point. At the core of it, it's the social, cultural component for me, honestly. Bringing this material to schools, to cultural centers, to universities, and bringing it to the students. You know, we play together, we sing together, and in the case of music students, we bring the music in for them to perform it and for them to be submerged in the magic of Ricano. And to me, it's a huge responsibility, bringing my roots into whatever new work I do. And in that way, keeping the conversation going about Puerto Rican roots. And in my case, Puerto Rican and Dominican roots. So let's say you make this sick reggaeton beat, but it has a little bit of influence from Puerto Rican plena. You know, later on when you're analyzing that beat, you could still have the topic of plena in the conversation. Like, hey, this is actually based on plena. And what is plena? You know, and you open up that conversation. So to me, it's very important, and it's the way in which I'm keeping my roots alive for generations to come. And in that way, I'm planting seeds for younger generations to feel motivated to do the same. You know, so many of these young folks are being looked down upon as the generation that likes reggaeton, that likes trap music. But what I've found is that if they're put in a cool situation or they're organically exposed to the type of music that I'm making, they dig it. They dig jazz. They dig everything. You know, younger generations are some of the most open-minded individuals that I've ever met. We've impacted more than 500 student lives so far with the project. And this is just a debut album. I can't wait to see what else we can do. Hey, by the time I'm 85, who knows how big those seeds that I've planted have grown.
My experience with Jonathan's been very enlightening because we are exposed to music that is infused with jazz and Puerto Rican traditional music in a way I haven't heard before.
It is a mix of jazz and like music from my culture put together that makes me feel really connected to my culture and with the music I like to play.
Being able to be inspired to make my own composition from where I'm from and all that stuff is just very inspiring for myself.
Obviously, I'm not that close with my roots, but that inspired me to do some research, connect with people who are within my roots.
To me, it has been extraordinary to discover the music of Ricano because I am a fan of traditional music from Puerto Rico, from the Dominican Republic, from the Caribbean. And I'm also a big fan of jazz, right? So, of course, yes, it has been done, the Afro-Caribbean jazz, but not quite like this. And specifically using bomba and salve in the way it has been used, and just all the different musical languages that are involved in this project and the different talents that everybody that has been involved in the project brings to the table. I think it's a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind way of listening to Afro-Caribbean music in my experience.
You never know really the effect that something like this can have on young lives. You know, you plant these seeds and you keep on going with your career. But in my case, I just saw one amazing performance and that changed my entire life. You know, let's try our very best to keep our roots alive by exposing younger generations to it organically by doing our very best as artists, you know, and I have so much hope for this project, and I'm so thankful for all the students that have been a part of it so far, and so many more students to come. Well, ever since we started performing Ricano on the road, we've taken it to so many places. We've taken it to the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Austin, Texas, Chicago, New York, Boston, Springfield, Massachusetts. So many more places to go. I'm very excited for this journey, and everywhere that I go, I just try my very best to include that social component to the thing, you know, because there it could go beyond the stage, and I'm able to really connect with people directly. You know, if it's singing, then it's singing. If it's doing a drum circle, if it's showing them how to play this music, all of it is super important. And I think at the core, that's what Ricano is. It breaks down that weird barrier that we've built in jazz across the years of the public is there and I'm here and you should shut up and stay quiet and stay still. No, with me it's like that gets broken down. Ricano is about inviting people into the experience, you know, sing with us, dance with us, and for the music students, play with us, you know, to the point where I can actually come off stage and it's like, y'all got it. That's a wrap.